I'm going to do something a little different today. I've done product reviews before. This is for something that I've never bought before. A friend of mine called me and said, you got to check this out at Costco. Post-Christmas clearance price, $50. Before Christmas, they were $100. And if you go on Amazon and look them up, same brand name, same size, $188. $50 seemed like a good price. It's a Serrano ham, big box like this. I've never bought this before, but my friend says it tastes very close to prosciutto, and I use a lot of prosciutto. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some links in the description down below for at least a couple of videos in which I've used prosciutto. So let's unbox this and see what I got. My friend says this will fit in my refrigerator. I measured the box, it won't fit in my refrigerator. But here's the ham. Look at the size of that thing. According to the box, it was 14.7 pounds. Comes with a carving knife. I've got better knives. I'll check this to see how sharp it is. I put an apron on because I wasn't sure how messy this might be. But using their knife, starting at the top. Ooh, that's working really nice. And my friend told me that there's a lot of fat on here. There's a big fat cap to be removed. So I put a bowl over here to catch this fat. So I want to take a piece right off the top here. This is where it gets tough because the way the meat is. I got through it. And I do have a better knife. This is one of my boning knives. This is a Viking. I don't think Viking makes knives anymore. In fact, just to experiment, how well does the Viking go through it? Maybe a little bit easier. All right, so I got a couple pieces of meat here. I want to taste this and see what it tastes like, how much it tastes like prosciutto. My friend says it's very close to prosciutto. Let's find out. It's milder, but it's close. It's actually very close. That's actually pretty good. And the way that I plan to use this is I'll cut up thicker pieces and then wrap those up really well. Put them in the freezer. Maybe I'll use my vacuum sealer and put those away in the freezer, because what I like to do, I've mentioned, and I'm going to put the links below, I like to use prosciutto in clam chowder. I know how weird that is. It's a weird clam chowder, but Clarissa Dixon Wright in Two Fat Ladies made it, and it's absolutely delicious. It's made with milk, but it's not your typical New England clam chowder because it has a very, I don't want to say watery, but it has a thin broth to it. But it's milk rather than cream, and it's not thickened with flour like a lot of New England clam chowders are. And she used prosciutto, but she cubed it. So rather than buying paper thin slices of prosciutto, these were thick pieces that she then cut up and cubed, put into the clam chowder, let it sit for about an hour after it's prepared, and that lets the flavor of the prosciutto leach out a little bit into the broth. Oh, the best clam chowder I've ever made. As far as the stand goes, I'm not going to leave it on this. This might be fun to use when you have guests over and you want to slice off little pieces of ham for them to enjoy, maybe as an appetizer or whatever. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to cut this up. I'm going to trim this, put it on a cutting board, trim it really well, and put pieces away in the freezer. So there's my ham, Serrano ham. Is it worth the price I paid for it? Yes, because I got it at half off. If you compare it to someplace like Amazon, I got it for less than a third of the price. And I can clean this up, portion it, put it in the freezer, and I'll have prosciutto, if you will, for a long time. Sounds like a train going by.